Will Virgin Galactic crash in the new week? That's the big question here on Monday. So welcome to this brand new vlog. You know that there were bad news, okay? Very bad news for Virgin Galactic. First, the FAA said that they are investigating against our favorite company here on this channel. And secondly, then the breaking news, and that's why the stock lost crazy amounts of percentage just rapidly. If you're looking into this chart here, when the FAA said actually, okay, we need to ground everything. So as of this moment, no test flight with the Italian Air Force until the FAA gives clearance, okay? Virgin Galactic, on the other hand, is saying that they are all cooperating. They said it's never was someone in danger, and therefore I believe that this is something just so temporary. And this is exactly what we will talk about today. Is this short-term thinking giving you long-term problems? I think yes, because you should think long-term so you don't mind those challenges, okay? And if a company do something brand new, a new market, space travel, then they obviously go to a speed bump every now and then, okay? It happened with Amazon, it happened with Microsoft, it happened with Apple, it happened with basically every company that achieved something to create something new. Uber, Airbnb, all of this company had many headwinds on the way to success. So with that said, let's start. So first we need to discuss how serious this investigation actually is. And in my personal opinion, it's something very natural, okay? The FAA is the governmental arm responsible for all aviation, let's say, permissions, regulations, law, development, and so on. So they were the very first one that gave Virgin Galactic, as the very first space company ever, a space commercial license to fly normal people, civilians, up into space. That came totally by surprise. As you remember, 40% that day the stock just jumped, which was fantastic for us, right? Those days will come back, I'm guaranteeing this. Obviously this is never financial advice. So I think that something like this, so revolutionary, so innovative, always need to be looked after very carefully, okay? So they issue just the license, and then, you know, obviously they look now a little bit bad when Virgin Galactic on their first flight then, you know, deviate from the path that they wanted to, and there's a apparently red light into the cockpit, okay? So this looks like scary in first, you know, headlines. So obviously the FAA need to say, okay, you know, we need to investigate before you take the next test flight, okay? So I think that the FAA as well as Virgin Galactic has a super good relationship, which is, you know, proven over the last couple of years, even a decade long. They are talking with each other, they have special contacts, and so on and so forth. Even the ex-CEO, George Whiteside, was an ex-governmental person. He was a chief of staff at NASA, so a very big guy, and you know, this governmental companies, they know each other and so on. So I think that the relationship between those two are very good, and this is just normal. Still, we have so much time, right? I mean, they are now issuing a report, and then, you know, from now on until, let's say, end of September, when the next test flight according to the last PR is happening, we still have a little bit time to explain to the FAA everything what is needed, that they have to be very convinced of the security of the system. I think this is one of the most secure systems to send people up to into space. You know, Virgin Galactic worked over a decade on this system, and you know, even the responsible person like Mike Moses is sending his wife multiple times to space. So this is like the ultimate, let's say, proof that the system is safe. If you're sending your loved ones up there, you know, you really believe in the system and the security of the system. So, you know, as I said, I think this is just temporary, and you should really focus on the long term, okay? And how you do that, let's dive into it in the conclusion of this video. So in the conclusion of this video, I would love to say, make sure to subscribe and like, and also ring the bell, because then you get notified for every single new video almost every single day. Now let's talk about what's going on in the mind of an investor. If you're investing into a company, it can be Tesla, it can be Amazon, it can be, different kinds of, innovative companies, you always hit those road bumps, those speed bumps, because you're going so fast in innovation that there's always some challenges that come up, either by the law, right? Like I give you the example of Uber. Uber had to fight against the taxi and transportation laws in so many different countries. And then you had on the other side Airbnb that had, huge pushback by the hotel industry. And also people were saying, I will never rent my home to some strangers. And now, there's millions of Airbnbs around the world. And actually, in my personal opinion, I used Airbnb a couple of times now. I think it's a better experience than the hotel itself. Now, on the other side, Virgin Galactic is doing something brand new. So obviously they are hitting some challenges every now and then. I think this is something that is very, very, very good if you're thinking long term, because you want to build the position that you are building right now, at least in my case, as long as possible for very low numbers. In my personal opinion, 25, 22, everything below, 30, 40 is pretty low for me, because I know, maybe a year from now or even 2 years, if we don't have like a recession or anything else, I think that this stock and this company will be much more worth than $6-7 billion. Okay, this is a no-brainer for me. I have a similar feeling that I had in, let's say, Tesla, right? I invested, 2 years almost into Tesla before it went up, and I said, I would love to push even more money into lower Tesla pricing before it went crazy, because then I would make even more money. But that's what it is. You never can time the market, and when you are lucky to time the market, it's, as I said, very lucky. So it's very, very important to have this long-term view, because there will be some hiccups, there will be some speed bumps, but in the end of the day, if you're choosing and understanding the business very, 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 very strongly and focusing on only 2-3 stocks that you really read every single piece that you can find on the company, every book, read their quarter earnings, listen to their quarter calls. I know most of you guys are still, having a day-to-day job, so you don't have so much time. So don't spread, your money onto 12 stocks or more just to be diversified, but not understanding what's really happening inside those single investments. This is my best tip for you.